while waiting for President Trump to provide the proof he promised that he didn't actually disrespect a fallen soldier to his grieving widow. I'm convinced it is with the tapes of his conversations with James Comey he once bragged about having, and his copy of Barack Obama's faked birth certificate. There is another topic which is being ignored that I would like to tackle. Specifically, these conspiracy theories surrounding the Las Vegas massacre, which some of Trump's biggest fans have been fomenting. As an ardent anti-conspiracy person and an Occam's razor advocate, I wrote immediately after the tragedy that this had all the markings of nothing more or less than a sick suicide party that the killer threw for himself. Since then, there has not been a shred of solid evidence to contradict this theory, and the authorities, who have seemingly tried their best to come up with something, anything, contrary to that conclusion, have, much to their frustration, completely failed to do so. The mainstream media, with no killer to put on trial and no apparent ratings agenda-friendly narrative to milk, has already moved on from Las Vegas as if it is ancient history. However, within the internet, the wacky conspiracy theories, they never involve actual complete alternative explanations, as that would require actual logic and evidence, have been gaining a popular foothold. What is most interesting about this ugly conspiracy phenomenon, which I believe is brought about largely by the prevalence of mental illness in our society, is that in this case there seems to be a very strong overlap between those who want to believe that something much larger than one depraved man caused the Las Vegas carnage, and those who are big fans of Trump himself. I don't believe that this is remotely coincidental. This reality is not just among the often nameless, rank-and-file Cult 45 members and Russian bots on Twitter. Ann Coulter has written about this while hilariously blaming it on the news media, and on multiple occasions, actor James Woods has tweeted, sparking thousands of retweets, about his belief that we are not being told the real story here, and frequent Fox News contributor Mark Steyn has gotten into the act as well. The latest fact which caused the Las Vegas conspiracy nuts to go into an Alex Jones-like frenzy, was that the hotel security guard who was shot by the killer just before going on his rampage had mysteriously disappeared. Somehow, the fact that the timing of his interaction with the killer had changed from what was first reported, the fog of war effect is the mother's milk of wacky conspiracy theories, combined with him having gone missing, was just too much for the tinfoil hat crowd to resist. So imagine they were surprised when today we learned that the security guard had suddenly shown up in Los Angeles to tape an episode of The Ellen DeGeneres television show, who knew that a female comedian most well known for dancing on her celebrity-based talk show was actually a major part of a cover-up of how hundreds of innocent people were shot at a public event. I am sure that this hiccup won't dissuade the conspiracy people from sticking to their nonsensical view that what they are being told is false, even when there is no remotely viable alternative explanation. I have long ago realized that reasoning with these people is as frustrating and pointless as arguing with them over their cult leader, Donald Trump. I do have one simple question for them, however, which I have asked on Twitter and Facebook to no avail. If we are not being told the real story about Las Vegas, then why is your fearless leader Trump not making even the slightest effort to let us know the truth? Is Trump also in on the conspiracy, or is he so dumb that he has been duped by deep state, or whatever other fictitious force you are blaming for this massive, impossible, and illogical cover-up? Because those are the only two remotely plausible explanations here, and obviously neither are remotely good for Trump, or consistent with a guy who should be worshipped as a god by these same people. If the popularity of the alternative Las Vegas narrative continues among Trump's cult for much longer, I predict that the president will be forced to give at least a wink and a nod in their direction. This will probably happen in a cryptic tweet on a day where the media can't get close enough to him to ask about it. He might even claim to have proof, safe in the knowledge that his cult will never ask him to provide it, and that everyone will quickly move on to the next insane chapter of this never-ending reality show of a presidency. John Ziegler hosts a weekly podcast focusing on news media issues and is documentary filmmaker. You can follow him on Twitter at @ZigmanFreud or email him at johns@mediaet.com. This is an opinion piece. The views expressed in this article are those of just the author.